I know what you're thinking. He's done it. He's gone and got a haircut. He has gone and got a haircut. Welcome to the channel. Now, before we start on this video, little disclaimer, by the way. I'm employed by one of the clubs in question with the European Super League, so I'm not going to go and slate them completely on this video. I obviously am not in the job position to go and slate these clubs. However, I will say everything in this video is mentioned is by chat on Twitch and discussions that people are having on the conversation in my Twitch chat. If you want to be part of the conversation, go follow it down below, link in the description. And also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We got a haircut because you guys were subscribing. Keep up the good work, and we can hit 1.5k subs, hopefully, by the end of this month, if not after the end of the month. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get on with it, shall we? European Super League. Good or bad, your say is next. Full disclosure, I'm not going to go slating every club because I am employed by one of them. But I will say that I think it's a step backwards in football for a fan's point of view. Let's put it that way, okay? From a financial, there's no question about it. From a let me turn the music off. From a financial point of view, it is ridiculously good. Like you can't deny it. Mill, welcome back to stream. You can't deny that from a financial point of view, this is ridiculously good for the clubs. It just is. But at the same time, it will change how football is effectively run for pretty much for 23 years, they're saying, basically. Do you think they'll kick the clubs out of the Premier League? I think they will. I think they have to, I think. I think they kind of have to. I think they definitely have to, just because it's in theory undermined the Prem and the FA and every other competition. I mean, listen, if it gets West Ham top four or the title, don't think I'll be going, oh, I'm not sure about that, how West Ham won the league. I'll be jumping from the rooftops, screaming, Mark Nobles won the Premier League. I'm not going to be unbiased about it. I'll be massively happy if West Ham got top four because of consequences. I just will. That's what I'll say. West Ham might win something. Like it's absurd. It's absurd how it's got to this, and the fact with the Euros as well. If the countries can't pick these players in the clubs, I don't think that'll happen. I'll be highly surprised. I'll be massively shocked if they ban these players that haven't really got a say in what's going on. Like, I'm sure if this happens, a lot of players will want to leave the clubs. But I don't think you can punish the players for their employers doing what they're doing. I'm not sure that should be allowed, personally. If it does, England have a good chance of winning the Euros. Because the clubs that we have in England have decent English players that aren't in the Super League. Whereas clubs in, let's say, who we got here? In Spain, a lot of the Spanish players are in the major ones. A couple of German players. Obviously, if the German league teams aren't there, it's not as bad thing. But I definitely think that England have a good chance of Euros if they do it. But I don't see how UEFA can ban players from the tournament when it's their employers that are doing the decision making behind it. I don't see how that actually happens. I can't see it. Do you think that teams like Poland will win the Euros? No. Lewandowski might be able to carry him so far, but he's not going to carry him to a Euros win. Absolutely not. They kick them out as they don't care about the league. I don't know what they'll do. I think if FA had the power, I think the difference is nowadays FA haven't got the power that they once had. The top 6 clubs see themselves as bigger than the actual league. So I don't know. I think FA will try and throw the book at them. I think the FA will try and do whatever they can, and I think UEFA will get involved and the Premier League will get involved. And good old Boris Johnson loves it. Boris Johnson's stirring the pot. He wants to get involved as well. I think there could be some repercussions. What they are, I think the most likely thing will be a fine. I think what they'll do is there'll be 2 options, I think. If they want to actually do a punishment, it'll be a fine. But fines mean nothing to big clubs, especially when they get £300 million for joining the Super League. Also, if they do a points deduction, it'll be next season. So it won't make a difference because they're in the Europa League anyway. In the European League, anyway. So points deduction really make a difference. The only thing that affects them are exclusion from the league in total, or deducting points this season. You can't rip away trophies. I don't think you can. You can't rip away trophies. I mean, some clubs have got more trophies than others, and I'm aware of that. But you can't rip away a history of a club. I don't think that's the most unlikely one. I think ripping away won't really work. ESL will kill off domestic football. By the way, guys, these are your opinions. We're live streaming, by the way, so these aren't. As a disclaimer, these ones from now on are not my faults as an employee of one of the clubs. I will say that I have to bottle it a little bit. I can't go out. You understand that I can't go out and slate every single club in the world when I'm possibly employed by a certain one. You guys know what it is anyway. But yeah, I will say that I'm not gonna these are your opinions, okay? So if I get in trouble, it's not my opinions. This is Twitch chat. Do not hate me. This is not my fault. With the first pick of 22 European Super League draft, Arsenal select Jack Grealish, Aston Villa. That would be the compromise. It sounds unreal, but it's hella American. ESL will be embedded to college and lower leagues. Yeah, people are saying that the Premier League will now become the college equivalent of the ESL in terms of they'll pick people. I don't think it will go that way. What I think will happen is the Big Six leave. If the Big Six get kicked out or leave, this is really annoying, by the way. If the Big Six leave, then the new Big Six, this is hilarious, I'm about to say. The new Big Six is West Ham, Leicester, Everton, Aston Villa, Leeds and Newcastle? Maybe? Who would you guys have new top six are? The new Big Six are? If that happens. I think Everton, it'd be West Ham, Liverpool, Everton for sure. Then you probably got Villa, Leeds, and probably Newcastle for stature. Not for ability, but for stature. You're talking Newcastle probably there in the Prem. But it'd be good to see six new, if they get kicked out, it'd be good to see six new clubs come up. Barnsley, Millwall come up, which is always a bonus. Get rid of one Derby in Spurs, get into another in Millwall. But I can't see Premier League becoming a feeder club for the ESL, just because of the fact that it'll mean that, let's say, right, the top four where they are, because of history, but also because of money from finishing top four and Champions League, in 10 years' time, when the new top four have had 10 years of top four prize pools, Champions League football, they'll be able to attract players that want to play in Champions League to play for their nations. So all the big players will go to the Champions League clubs, which will mean in 10 years' time, in my head, if Big Six get kicked out, in my head, the new Big Six will have players equivalent stature of the current Big Six because they still want to play Champions League. Does that make sense? So I don't see it being that bad for the top six. I think it'll take years to readjust, but I think long term it won't kill the Premier League off. Lower league may be affected because of the drip down of money, but I'm not sure. It'll be a big four. Other two aren't good enough. Not Leeds, only back in the Prem for 2 seasons, but stature-wise. Wolves and Newcastle. It's a shout for that, especially with recent years, how both clubs have done. There's a shout for Wolves being one of the Big Six. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see what happens. ESL will kill off domestic football. This is not my faults, by the way, guys. Just saying it. Once again, just saying it's not my faults. UEFA proposed to reformat the Champions League. A joke. The idea of 36 teams, no groups, 36 teams competing in one league. Is that what's happening with the Champions League, right? The idea of 36 teams, no groups. 36 teams compete in one league. Top 8 qualify for knockout stages. Each team guaranteed 10 matches. Proposal was laughable. This could have been thought out in the last minute. Jack panicked due to ESL announcement. Well, apparently the reports are that Perez, the Real Madrid guy, I saw a report that Perez worked with UEFA to make this new proposition for Champions League. Then while he was doing that with UEFA, he was working with the other clubs behind their back to make the Super League, and then when that was all done, he'd backstab UEFA. That is what's apparently happened. I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, it's just reports, as I say. Just got news saying Bruno Fernandes, Cancelo, Podence is starting the Portuguese movement against ESL. God, classic Portugal. The whole of the Wolves squad are now anti-ESL. Is that what we're saying, Mike? Yeah, but I saw Fernandes quote tweeted on Instagram Podence's thing. The new revamp of UCL sounds naff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're doing it. I don't really know why they're doing it. I think the Champions League is fine as it is. Like, just stop changing everything. It doesn't need to be changed. Just play Champions League how it's always been played. Like, it's not hard. Arsenal fan TV going to be bank when Arsenal lose 6 every week. The ball with the song, the dream, Zidane's volley, Kaká's solo, Liverpool in Athens, Solskjaer and Barca. Kristen Seedorf, there's something you can't really pay for, all his memories are just torn. Yeah, I saw a TikTok earlier, the peak of content about that. Yeah, it's sad. But the thing is, we don't know what happens. We don't know what happens. Like this could all crumble. If it does crumble, there'll be a mark left on the clubs that have agreed to it, I think, by the fans. If it does crumble, it'll go back to normal. And I think the big teams still benefit. They'll probably get some sort of package or something. Financial repercussions. Basically, I think it's that coronavirus has brought this further forwards because the money, like I said, financially, you can't turn it down. You can't turn it down. If you're an owner of a business, which, don't get mistaken, a lot of these owners, especially abroad in terms of Spain, and foreign owners in England, they run it as a business. It always has been. If you're getting offered £300 million guaranteed every year, you take it, don't you? Like, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. The owners take it because they just are. People always want to make more money no matter the expense. Exactly. That's the whole point of it. It's a business. It just is. You can't deny it's a business. Ryan Mason, the youngest manager in the league. Lloris is older than him. Yeah. So if you didn't know, guys, if you're watching this, Mourinho did get sacked by Spurs today. Yeah, the video's out today. So let's say the 19th of April because that's today. Lloris is older than him. I wonder how Mason does. It's a weird one because obviously they've changed the subject quickly. They've obviously got the Carabao Cup final, haven't they? They've got the Carabao Cup final in 5 days. So it'll be weird to see how they do. People are missing out on the fact it's called the Super League. It's not called the European Super League. They'll soon look to expand their franchises in North and South America, Africa and Asia. Interesting. That is interesting. I only look at it being called the Super League, not the European Super League. I don't know if it is called the Super League or just European Super League, whatever it is. But I think the reason why if it would not be called European is because I think it'll be played around the world. Like, I think I said this at the start of the stream, most people watching this video and most people in my chat live stream at the moment, you are the target demographic. Like, a lot of you are in Australia, America, Asia, let's say Africa, a couple of you guys might be in. Like, you're the target demographic of this in terms of they'll take the North London derby and put it in Singapore. They'll take Real Madrid and Barca and put it in Dubai. Like, it will happen, and America and stuff like that. It will happen. It's just about getting the audiences, and they're going to sell out. Like, even if the British audience decide to boycott it and don't watch it, China alone will make them enough money. China alone makes you millions, if not billion. Think how many people are in China, for starters. In fact, the whole of Asia. Like, they're making a lot of money, even if the British... It's not about England. Like, we can complain about it in England, but it's not about England. It's the whole world. Like, so you can't really do anything about it. If they want to do it, they're going to do it. All the FA can do is kick them out of the Prem. They can't stop them from doing it because even if, let's say everyone in the country stops watching the Super League, who cares? Who cares? Like, how many people are in England or in Britain? 64 million people. That's maybe like a city in Asia. Like, come on, the numbers are huge. The money in Asia is huge. The fan base in Asia is absolutely huge. You can't blame the businesses for doing it. They are businesses. Imagine how much money an owner could make if they market the fact these major franchises would be coming to the city every year. Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine if they all have their international home. So Arsenal make their international home like Singapore or UAE or something, and Spurs make their home somewhere in Korea because their Korean fan base is huge, and Real Madrid make their home in Australia, a second home sort of thing. Their marketing is huge. They know how to run it, and they said on Sky Sports News the owners don't care about the backlash because some of them don't get why the relegation exists. Which I don't. The whole point is anti-competitive, isn't it? The whole point is that relegation for a fan is why you want to see what you want to see. You want to see it because the fault of relegation far outweighs any. And the whole point of success is the risk of loss, isn't it? That's the whole point of it. As a West Ham fan, the whole thrill of winning is to avoid the bottom three. That's what it is. That's what it is. And it's not exactly as if it's an FA Cup where you lose and go, oh, well, I'm out. If you're at the bottom of the Super League and you can't qualify, you're basically playing the rest of the season as glorified friendlies. I'm not sure the players would want that. I'm not sure the players... I mean, I don't know. This is just what I see online. But I'm not sure the players would be massively keen on having to travel every week to Asia, to Australia, to America, every week on a Wednesday, when they have families at home, they have social lives, they have friends, they have the Premier League, which they obviously all... Everyone in England grew up watching the Premier League. Like, that's the thing about it. Someone's got banned in chat. Lovely. This is tip of the iceberg. Can you expand so they fill out the whole calendar? League will play all good till March, April, then a playoff will happen afterwards to crown a champion. I think it will go to the American format, for sure. It already basically is, isn't it? It basically is the American format already. I wonder if they'll do a Western and Eastern hemisphere rather than the Western and Eastern conference. They have a Western and Eastern hemisphere. That'll be interesting. And they'll have a world winner rather than a European winner. But I can't see that happening. I'm not sure. Will it go that far? You don't know. I still don't know whether it will happen. Do you guys think it will happen? Let me know in the comments if you think it will actually happen. And what do you think the repercussions will be for these clubs, especially in England? I only care about the repercussions for clubs in England. I don't care what happens to Barca or Real Madrid. Like, it doesn't affect me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But let me know in the comments what you guys think will happen to the FA clubs especially. Do FA have any power? Do you guys reckon FA have power? We'll have to see. I think they'll do everything they can. Gary Neville will be... Gary Neville's going to have a civil war. Do you know in Game of Thrones where Jon Snow is facing the army of the Battle of Winterfell, where Jon Snow has the sword? That is Gary Neville. And all the horses run towards another ESL clubs. And Gary Neville will eventually get stabbed in the back like Jon Snow was. Spoiler alert. If you watch Game of Thrones, why haven't you even seen it this far through? It's been out for like 10 years. So it's your fault if you've been spoiled by that. The greed will be too much for them not letting other owners... The greed will be too much for them to not letting other owners, especially if they can bring in cargo ship loads of money. Yeah, I mean, it's a business. It is just a business. I will not lie. You can't go, I don't get why the owners aren't doing this. Because you can understand why the owners are doing it. It's just not beneficial for anyone but the owners, especially. That's kind of the consensus of it. Especially they can show the matches during peak viewing times in those countries, yes. Yeah. They won't play in England. Hardly any of the games will be in England. I'll be shocked if 20% of the games are in England. No. How many... Right, so half the clubs right now are English, right? Half the clubs are English. I'll be shocked if 20% of the games are in England. What's funny though is all the Celtic and Rangers fans going, where are our invites? As if anyone in Spain knows who Rangers and Celtic are. Like, why do Celtic and Rangers think they're going to get invited? I hope they do, to be fair. I hope they do get invited. It'd be great to see them get attacked by all the European teams in a big competition. My respect for Bundesliga teams went up. Watch Bundesliga. Well, the thing is with Bundesliga teams is they're owned 51% by the fans. So if you didn't know, there's a rule in Germany that basically means you can't have a control ownership if you're an owner of the club. 51% is always owned by the fans. So if the fans against something, a massively billionaire owner cannot come in and change what it is. So this is what annoys me. If they're like, oh, everyone online is like, oh, great from Dortmund, great from Bayern Munich, the owners are class, the owners love the country, blah. No, they just don't have control. That's the only difference. You're telling me an owner of any club in the world. Listen, if West Ham got offered Super League, David Gold and Sullivan would jump at the chance. Like, if Monaco got offered, Monaco would go. Like, every owner accepts this. It doesn't matter. It's the money. It's only that Bundesliga teams can't do it. Only reason Schalke have done it is because Schalke are so bad at the moment and such in bad financial ruins that the club basically have to do it, otherwise they'll go bust. Eventually, is what I think is going to happen. That's the reason why. I think the Premiership is split into two divisions. Interesting. Let's have a look at this. I've not heard this one before. The top 4 of the Premier League Division 2 get promoted to Division 1 and qualify for Champions League. Teams in 5th and 6th Division 2 qualify... Wait, let me think about this. I don't even know what you mean. Teams in 5th and 6th in Division 2 qualify for Europa. Bottom 4 of the Premier League rated to Premier Division 2. Top division of Premier Division 1 qualify for ESL. Now, because it basically means the Championship is one step below. Basically makes an even bigger pyramid, which don't work. It wouldn't work in England. Yeah, I don't think that would work. 2 Premier Leagues would be too disastrous. It just would be. I think so. Football's not dead. I agree. I think people are overreacting when they say football's dead. It's not. Not the only leagues in the world. Argentina, Brazil, Germany, Portugal and France have the teams in quality. I think we should start watching these leagues, boycott the Super League. Oh, many fans won't watch the Super League. I mean, I probably won't. If the Champions League's still high quality, I won't watch it. I probably won't watch it anyway. But I want to see how the MLS does. I'll be interested to see if they can poach any players. If this international ban comes along where you can't play for your country, I want to see how the MLS does. Can the MLS attract some big players so they can play for their country? Because some players will prefer their country over club. Some will. Not the likes of Harry Kane or what other British players are there. But people like maybe not Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne, someone like that, where I assume that someone like playing for Belgium would be a massive achievement for them. They'd probably want to play for it if they got banned from UEFA. They've already got the best player in Higuain. That is true. He scored yesterday. A lovely penalty. I feel the current football period in modern UK is rich as possible use by date. It's domestic football is to survive and need to rejig it. I don't know the ins and outs of the pyramid and how the money works below the top 4 leagues. I can't lie to you. I'm not a massive knowledgeable person on the football pyramid. But yeah, the whole situation with COVID has massively made people think about what's actually going on. I think you can't have professional football clubs going bust. It's just not right. But I think I'm going to end the video here because otherwise I could talk for this for hours upon hours upon hours, and everyone can. So I want to see these comments filled with a couple of things. What your thoughts are on the Super League. What you think will happen. Will the Super League go ahead or not? Also, what do you think the punishment, if there will be punishment, will be for the clubs involved in your nation or the Prem, whatever nation you're involved in. Also, guys, you're new around here, go and subscribe. This hair will go, by the way, by the end of the day. So next video you see on YouTube, guys, this hair will be back to its old ways of being nice and short. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe around here if you're new, leave a like on this episode if you did enjoy it. And subscribe, like I said, for 10th time you're around here. And I'll catch you all later.